welcome back to my channel, Josie Annalise. I am Josie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you another one of my knitting videos where I update you on all my current projects, finished ones, and potentially future ones as well, and show you some really nice yarn. Yay! I know it's been a long time since I made a video, but it's been very busy. But the good news with it being such a long time in between is I have finished projects to show you. Yay! So let's get into it. So if you saw my previous knitting video, you may remember I was working on a cardigan made of cotton called the Koru cardigan by Aroha knits. So I did finish it, so let me show you. One moment. Okay. It's hard to show these sometimes. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. So you can see from here the big back cable lace panel, which is stunning. And you can also see here the stripes. This was from when I had to alternate my yarn because I bought it from the discount factory for yarn in Wangaratta, which is awesome. But they didn't have enough cotton in the dye lot I wanted. They had 2 dye lots there. So I bought half and half. On my initial attempt of this cardigan, I didn't alternate. And then I thought maybe it would be okay, but I guess there's a reason it was in the discount shop. So there was a very visible line when I then changed the yarn. And initially I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll just knit the others the same so it'll look deliberate. However, I then realized I couldn't actually tell which dye lot I had used first and which one I'd used second. I'd lost the ball tags and got them mixed up. So I realized I couldn't actually replicate that, distinct line color change throughout the whole cardigan, and then that was going to bother me. So I frogged the whole project, and it sat in a corner for about 1 year before, did I start it again once I moved back here? I believe once I moved back here, I restarted the project. And alternated this time, and that went beautifully. I didn't alternate the arms, however, since they were much shorter, and I thought, well, as long as it's consistent, like the arms are consistently the same color and the body is consistently striped, then I thought it would be fine, and it was, and I'm very happy with it. And let me show you the front cable. So you can see here, the front has a beautiful cable as well. And so these are just short sleeves as well. So you can see, oh, let me get off the floor. So this is what it looks like when you wear it on. You can see these beautiful cables down the side here. It's about a 3/4 sleeve, just over. So, and turn around. You can see the beautiful cable on the back coming all the way down. So this is my Koru cardigan, and so this was knit out of Australian mercerized cotton. In a colorway I'll put on the screen because I can't remember. Okay, let me take this off. So that is my Koru cardigan. So I finished that one in August. Ooh, that's a while ago now. So that was finished in August. And I think I got my seasons a bit confused. So, being from Australia, the seasons are very switched. So they are now in summer. And it tends to be a lot warmer in Australia than Sapporo. So moving to Sapporo though, I started this at the beginning of summer and I thought, oh, I'm going to knit my cotton cardigan first because I can wear it more. However, with the time it took me to make it, so I finished it around the end of summer, and autumn was incredibly short. So it was not warm enough to wear for a long time. So I got to wear it about 3 times outside of the house before having to wear sweaters and things like that, which I'm not actually mad about because I like my sweaters, but I was like, oh, maybe that winter cardigan would have been a smarter idea. But you live and you learn. So that is going to be a very, very big favorite, I think, during spring and summer, especially here in Sapporo. So I'm so happy it's finished, and it's great around the house too. So next, oh, should I do all finished projects? Let me do finished projects first. So that was my Koru cardigan. So these are, now I'm going to show you some socks. I actually meant to show you last time. They've been finished for a very long time now. However, I hadn't woven in the ends. I hate weaving in ends. I'm sure anyone can relate. If you hate it too, let me know down in the comments. So it took me a shameful long time to weave in the ends on these socks, but they are finally finished properly. So these are my speckled space socks. You can see the beautiful speckling here. And these were made in a hand-dyed yarn from Candy Apple Lane in Australia. However, unfortunately, they no longer dye yarn, so you can't get this colorway, I'm sorry. But this colorway, very much, I nicknamed it Army Chick because the greens and like the olive greens, it's got some sparkles, and then obviously the pink just really reminded me of army and very pink girls. So that's my nickname, is Army Chick for this sock. So, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. I just used a fish lips kiss heel. So these are my beautiful fish lips kiss heel speckled space socks. I've also finished a second pair of socks. Let me put them on the sock blockers first. These have had the ends woven in, however they haven't actually been blocked yet, but I'm not sure if I'm going to block them because it's just for me and I can wear them now anyway. So without further ado, bum 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 bum, these are the other socks I've made. So if you watch the Grocery Girls podcast, you may recognize this pattern. This is a pattern by Tracie of the Grocery Girls, and this is her Galiano sock pattern. It's this beautiful cable along here, and these eyelets, and they're so, so beautiful. And the yarn for this is another hand-dyed yarn by one of my favorite hand dyes in Australia called Beer&Skittles. Not actually beer, but it's a funny story behind the name. You should check it out. So she dyed this beautiful colorway called Romantic Speckles, and it's the most beautiful, like, would you call this mauve? But the most beautiful kind of this purple, burgundy. Oh, it's just beautiful. So they're finished too. So very happy about that. So 2 pairs of socks, a cardigan, and there's one more finished project. Bum 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 bum. So actually that's not true. There's more, but I don't actually have them anymore. So this is a Christmas bauble that I knit at lunchtime at work the other week. So this is just knit in some 4-ply scrap yarns I had hanging around, and it's the Star of Bethlehem free pattern. I'll put the link down below. But yeah, nice little bit of color work. It took me longer than I expected, but I only knit on this at lunchtime. Same as these socks. They took about a month to knit because they're my lunchtime knitting socks. But so yeah, I finished this, so this now lives on my Christmas tree, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. So yeah, I've begun knitting Christmas ornaments. I will probably only have one in total this year, but I'm hoping for next year that I will have a tree full of them. So that's the plan for next year. Yeah. Okay, so next I'm going to show you my works in progress, which aren't very many now, actually. Let's rewind a little bit. So I have 2 other finished projects. However, I don't have them in person to show you as they were gifts, but I will insert a picture. Boom. The first one is this little Amigurumi crocheted koala that's not in koala colors. I made this for one of my students who showed an interest in my knitting and craft. I did a speech in Japanese in August and showing my knitting off, and in that speech we had questions afterwards, and one of the questions I didn't quite catch the meaning, so I just replied hi, which means yes, and turns out later that question was, is that for me? So because of that kind of joke, and he was very sweet, and he's took us out to karaoke one night as well. So I made him that little koala to give him. I think he liked it. And then the second is this beautiful beanie that I made for my coworker. So we were out shopping, she started looking at beanies, and I'm like, I'll make you one if you want me to. So I ended up making her one, and it's beautiful, made of Debbie Bliss Cashmerino yarn, and it was so soft and beautiful. Initially I was a little bit worried that it was like bigger than it should have been, but I measured it. It was exactly to the pattern, which is on the screen, and it turned out really, really well. I was really happy with that beanie. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the finished projects recently. So there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 finished projects in 5 months. Takes me about a month to finish something, apparently. Anyway, so now, getting back to it, I'm going to show you my works in progress. This one, for the past 1 to 2 months, I haven't really worked on, but prior to that, I had worked on it a bit. So you may remember this from the previous video. But this is my beautiful sister cowl, and you can see, ooh, don't do that. I've made quite a bit of progress on it. It's quite long now. Oh, it's beautiful. So I finished the beautiful flowers, and I finished the grid, which I love how this looks. This is not blocked yet, so once it's blocked, it's going to look just so, so beautiful. I will make sure I share that with you when it's finished. Though the original cowl is actually quite long, quite big, and I'm considering not making this as big. I'm considering maybe finishing this up about where it is, because if I put this around my neck now, it's probably around the perfect kind of length now to be used like this way for one wrap. And with the cold winter here, like I have a big down coat and it zips right up, so this would go perfectly in it. And kind of, I like to cover my face, keep me nice and warm. So I think if I stop it now, it would be perfect for that. Would it? Yeah, it'd be perfect, I think. So I'm considering stopping it now, and closing the loop. But then another part of me is tempted to do the full, I think it's 2 loops. So I haven't decided yet. We're gonna see. But I think maybe for Sapporo, maybe 1 loop is more practical, because this is the problem. outside is, you know, very cold, -degrees. However, the inside, the heating is amazing. It is truly just, the heating's a beautiful thing here. They do it well. But the problem is, obviously, if you have many layers on because you're outside and it's cold, you then walk inside and you're just like, so hot. So you have to take everything off, and the bigger they are, the bulkier, the more you've got to carry. So I think something small would be easier to carry than obviously something that's like really big. So we'll see. I'm considering that right now. I do have another colorway cowl which also was meant to be 2 loops, and I ended up stopping it about like 1.5 ways. And it's at a slightly awkward length, but I actually really like how it sits, because it's a bit longer than 1 loop, so it kind of sits, it folds in the front, so you kind of have a square length going like this. And I actually really like it. It goes really well under your coats. It keeps you very warm. So maybe something similar with this, or slightly shorter, would be really nice. So we'll see. But that one's going really well. I'm really happy with the colors. And then, let me get the socks. So then, my other project I've been working on, probably more regularly recently, are these socks. Let's get it. So one of my favorite sock patterns is this free pattern called the Skype socks. They're so easy, they're so comfortable. It's a free pattern. I just really love the pattern for these Skype socks. So this here is the Skype pattern. It's like this little twist, and it's a rib, so it's really nice and stretchy. Bum, bum, bum. And so I've just turned the heel on this one. And I used to use the Fish Lips Kiss heel a lot because it's easy. However, I think over time I've come to the realization that they don't actually fit my feet the best, unfortunately. So I think a more traditional heel turn fits my foot better. So that's what I've now gone back to doing, which luckily I've managed to do it on my little 9-inch circulars, so that's nice. I just did a slip stitch heel here. I was hoping to get the blue more up here, but no luck, unfortunately. And so this yarn, this is the ball. See, it's a gradiating color. This is actually the Noro. Is that reversed for you? This is the Noro Kureyon sock yarn. So it's 70% wool and 30% polyamide. So this is the tag. So it's Noro in the colorway, color S11, lot A. So, but yeah, this beautiful pink and blue color gradient. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out, though I did want the blue up here, because blue's my favorite color. But that means because I've been wanting to get the color change, this has been going really, really quick. I started this last week. Only lunchtime knitting so far, and maybe tonight I will finish this sock off and start the pair. So we'll see. So that is my Skype socks that I'm making. They live in my sheep bag. All my co-workers, when they've seen this bag, they think they are donuts and not sheep. So I guess from afar though, does it look like donuts to you? I think I can kind of see what they mean, but up close, they're sheep. Which I made this bag myself. Yay. So they're my current knitting projects. Ooh, I don't have a picture. I've nearly finished making the pieces, but let's see if I can show you. So my current project that I started last night is I'm making an Amigurumi flower pot. So here is my pot. I think that's gonna sit flat. So here is my pot. This will be the top of my pot. Once it's sewed together, of course. And then I've made, let's see, I've made these little flowers, little crochet flowers. So let's see if I can show you kind of what it's gonna look like. Essentially, it's gonna look like this on top of here. So it's gonna be these flowers, and I haven't finished knitting all the leaves yet. But there's a leaf too. So this is what I'm making, and this is going to be a Christmas gift for the building maintenance man here. He's really looked after me and been very kind, so he often gives me snacks as I'm heading out to work, and whenever I buy like furniture or anything big or heavy, like getting my yarn sent to me from Australia, he's helped me take it up all at once instead of me having to do 3 or 4 trips. So he's very kind, so I'm making this for his Christmas present. So once again, the like crochet part, the knitting part, sweet, no problem. Weaving in ends, I don't want to. Does someone want to weave in the ends for me? I mean, look at this mess. Oh, this is the good side. I'm a monster. So maybe this week I'm gonna work on these ends a little bit, get them cleaned up. So yeah, that's my crochet and knitting projects currently. Ooh, I nearly forgot to show you. How dare I? Anyway, in the back you can see I got more of my hand-dyed yarn sent to me. So they're waiting for some projects. I have projects in mind, but it's just a matter of time. But I got something very, very special this festive month. So as you know, it is December. Ooh, we are like 2 days out from Christmas. Christmas. I like Christmas. I have a beautiful Christmas tree here, and it has had my advent calendar underneath. So for many years, many hand-dyers do advent calendars, and for many, many years I've dreamt of getting on. However, they tend to be expensive. And being a university student previously, I couldn't afford it. You know, it's kind of like my entire yarn budget for the year, so it was very much a no-go at university. However, since moving to Japan, I haven't been able to buy as much hand-dyed yarn, but also a lot of the yarn dyes I bought from have closed up shop, which is really sad. But you know, they've been doing it many years, and a lot of them have been stopping because they want to move on to other things like study or new jobs and things like that. So I respect that, and you know, I just very grateful I got to buy their yarn and use their yarn in beautiful projects. But yeah, so one of the very first hand dyes I discovered in Australia originally was called Gradient, and then later changed to By Briny. The hand dye is Briny, from local Australia, Melbourne, Victoria. And this year, this year she finally offered a yarn advent calendar. So not having bought much yarn and seeing this yarn advent and working full time now, I was like, me. Initially I had the problem, the release for the ordering was going to be Friday at 7 p.m. Australian time. I work until 9 here in Japan, so, and my break is way before that. So I had the problem like, I don't want to miss out. You know, she's a beautiful very talented dyer. So if you're watching this, hi Bryony, your work's absolutely amazing. And so yeah, I enlisted my mum's help to order this yarn for me, which she's not the greatest with online ordering. So I was a little bit worried, but she did it. She was successful. She managed to do it for me, and it was only available for shipping within Australia. So I was like, it can go to Mum's place, and Mum can send it to me. I paid postage, of course. I'm not that mean. So yeah, I got this, and so it's mini skeins, 25 mini skeins. Is it skeins or skeins? I don't know anymore. Whatever. So 25 minis, and they're 20 grams each, and they are white gum wool, which is my favorite yarn. So yeah, if you've seen my previous videos, you know white gum wool is one of my absolute favorite yarns to knit with, to wear, to work. I love white gum wool so much. If you haven't tried white gum wool, knitting with it, you need to. You have to. You have not lived until you have tried white gum wool. It's a Tasmanian breed of sheep, and it is the softest yarn in the entire world. So do yourself a favor, get yourself some white gum wool. It will change your life unless you're allergic to wool. If you're allergic, don't do it. But yes, I got myself this advent calendar, and so yeah, it was sent to my mom's place. There was a little bit of a problem with the postage there. We're not entirely sure what happened, but my parents live in a gated community, and instead of being sent to them, it was just sent to the village they lived in, and they couldn't get it, and they didn't leave a notification card or anything. So it wasn't until I looked up the tracking and saw that it had been sitting in the post office for 1 week, and I was like, what? So then I talked to my parents, and they're like, they haven't received a card or anything, and I was like, oh no. I made the mistake putting it in my name but to their address, because normally, you know, my parents are home, my mum works from home, you know, they knock on the door, she can sign for me and get my parcels, but not this time. So I emailed Australia Post and explained the situation, and you know, was hoping that was all good. So my mum went down to the post office after I'd sent that email. I'd sent her a screenshot, and luckily with the email, they were able to release the parcel to her, and because of the delay, it was going to be really tight to see if I would get it on time. So they sent it to me, they picked it up and they sent it that day to me from Australia to Japan. And then, so it finally arrived in Japan, but I'm not home for most of the deliveries, so they leave me a little slip, and normally I can arrange redelivery. The problem is, whilst they do deliver all days of the week, they changed to only allowing you to specify in the morning before 12. For work, I leave before 12, about 30 minutes beforehand. Previously, they've made deliveries in this time, so I thought, oh, it'll be fine, they can make it. They didn't. Redelivery didn't make it. So then I was thinking on the day that, you know, it had failed, I was like, oh, maybe I can just pick it up from the post office. So I went there on my lunch break, and unfortunately it was still out in the truck. So I was like, okay, next day. So the next day was the day before the 1st of December. So it was before my early morning work on Saturday. I went and picked it up, and it's a very busy day on Saturday, so it had to come out to dinner with me as well. But I got it just in time, so then I could open it day by day. So there's what? Two left. So I'm going to show you 23 mini skeins. Are you ready? This is not spoilery because this is day by day. I opened it in order. Oh, bad English. Anyway, so this is a beautiful tote bag it came in, which I'm so grateful for. And then this, I'm not showing these colors in order. I'm just showing the colors because it's all in this bag. And some of the days had a few little extra cute trinkets as well. So I'm going to show. Let me grab it. I'm going to show that to you too. Ooh. Okay. So I'll show you the little trinkets first. So far I've gotten this little really sweet sweater stitch marker. And this super cute stitchable sweater ornament kit, which I have to make. But you can make your own sweater with little thread. It's super cute. I can't wait to do it. I should do that this weekend. So let me show you the beautiful yarns. I'm going to show you the greens first. So first, some beautiful greens. Wow. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, they're just so nice. So as I said, these aren't in order. This is just as I'm grabbing them. Because I like to grab yarn. Don't we all though? So these are like the purpley pinks. Just beautiful. So beautiful. And ooh, come back. Okay, so here's some more beautiful purples and blues. So beautiful, and they're so soft. I wish you could feel how soft this yarn is. Okay, we've got some. These are the more neutral tones. And some more pinks. When I saw this, pink especially, I just, so happy. Like all the colors are stunning and beautiful, but like just this pink, like, it just made me so happy. So there's these, and it's the last for the current moment. It's the most beautiful, like burnt orange and these yellows, and just, aren't they beautiful? How nice. So that's my beautiful advent calendar of yarn by Bryony so far. And I'm sure you're wondering, Josie, what are you going to make with all that beautiful yarn? Well, I'm still deciding. It's very difficult, but I'm definitely going to be making one of Amber O'Brien's patterns. She does these beautiful designs. She's an Australian designer as well. I love supporting local Australian businesses and companies and designers. Like, I like to support local. And so yeah, she's got these beautiful advent patterns that are designed for minis and designed for advent calendars. And on there's this really beautiful wrap and shawl. If I can, I'll show you a picture. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm thinking about either making this, or she also has the cowl, so it's just a small one. So I'm considering making this as well. And whatever I make, I really want there to be leftovers so I can add into my beautiful crochet blanket, which is lengthwise. Like, if it was designed to go lengthwise like this, it's big enough for my bed now. But in my idea, my design was this way, so it's nearly done. It's getting there. I've made lots of progress recently, actually. You can see once I finished the Army Chick socks, you can see it's been in rotation quite a lot in the blanket. So I'm just loving this blanket. Oh, I Can't wait for it to be done. I hate the ends. Does anyone want to volunteer? Please come help me. But no, so that's the blanket. So I really want to have some like minis leftovers to add to the blanket or some other project. But I just, oh, it's beautiful. Bryony's done an amazing job with her advent calendar, and I'm so happy that I got my hands on it. And she actually very recently, about a month or two ago, announced she would be stopping making yarn, dyeing yarn, because she wants to go back to study, which, yay, study's great. So I feel I'm very grateful and fortunate to have been able to have so much of her yarn, which is just stunning and beautiful. And yeah, I'm just so happy I managed to get the advent calendar, because I would be kicking myself otherwise. I'd be very sad, but no, I'm very grateful. And her yarn is really unique and beautiful, and just, yeah, I would recommend you buy some, but you can't, so sorry about that. But definitely try white gum wool if you'd like to. I also highly recommend trying locally or naturally dyed yarns. So one of my Bryony's, she likes to dye with natural things like trees, leaves, eucalyptus, which has absolutely amazing results, and obviously it's natural, so it's not chemically too much. So I really recommend trying naturally dyed yarns as well. So I think that is going to be the end of this video. If there's anything specifically you'd like to see knitting or crochet, craft related, please let me know down in the comments. Probably in a few months I will give you an update on how my knitting and crochet crafts is going. But I'm getting more into the crochet now as well with the amigurumi. So if you want to see how the flower pot turns out, please follow me on Instagram. My craft page is Josie Annalise Creations. Really easy to find, so go take a look over there, give me a follow. I don't post too often, but you can follow all my beautiful projects and craft related things there. Or if you want to see kind of a little tidbits of my life here in Japan, you can follow my other Instagram page, which is Erickson Pintori, which I'll link all of these in my description box. So there I just post kind of my daily, well, not daily, my just life, daily type life stuff, nothing too fancy or special. I don't post too often there either yet, but I'm hoping to change that as of 2020. So yeah, I'm hoping to get more active again on YouTube now that kind of things are settling. It got busy for a while there, but I feel like things are settling again. I really want to get back into YouTube and adventures and traveling and craft. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you really liked the projects. If you had a particular favorite, please let me know down in the comments. Likewise, if you have any questions. I really appreciate you watching this video, and if you watched this long, thank you for sticking around. And I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year wherever you are in this beautiful world. Okay, bye!